September is National Preparedness Month. Are you prepared? Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. On today's edition, we'll take a look at what you should be doing to plan for any kind of a disaster, especially now that we're in the heart of hurricane season. Then reporter Kendra Lee takes us back in time to a very special place. And Volusia County Extension Agent Joe Sewards brings us information about the free Master Gardener clinics in Solutions for Your Life. Finally, we'll join Community Information Director Dave Byron and his guest, Director of Communications and Community Engagement for the Volusia-Flager United Way, Crystal Elkins. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. September is National Preparedness Month, and emergency management officials are urging the public to take action now and make a plan for their family and/or business. And don't forget your household pets or animals. The plan should include how to stay safe and how to communicate during and after a disaster. This year's National Preparedness theme is Don't Wait, Communicate. Make your emergency plan today. During National Preparedness Month, Volusia County Emergency Management will highlight preparedness messages through its social media channels. Each week, we'll focus on a different hazard such as wildlife, hurricane, or power outage. Emergency Management Director Jim Judge said the month culminates in a National Prepare-a-thon Day.
The entire month of September is National Preparedness Month, and then that culminates on the 30th, the last day of the month, with a big National Preparedness Day, where hopefully all the information that we provided through the month can be finalized with one big preparedness day to really help our visitors and citizens be better prepared for potential disasters. It could be tornadoes, hurricanes, flooding, wildfires, all the things that Volusia County has experienced in the past, and more than likely at some point will again. So a lot of information that we'll be disseminating throughout the month of September.
An important step in planning is signing up for emergency notifications. Volusia County uses the Code Red emergency call system. When there's an emergency, such an evacuation order, Code Red will call all of the registered phone numbers in the affected area. But the number must be in the Code Red database, which is different than the database that is used for 911 calls.
You know, I believe everyone should be registered with Code Red. I mean, this is going to be the quickest way for you to get an alert of something happening in your area. You can set off these alerts geographically. You can set it off. We can set up call groups, you know, just anything. We can set it off for amber alerts, hazardous material spills, you know, and of course for weather things. But I think everyone should be registered just to be informed for that stuff.
The staff at the Emergency Operations Center also is working with area utility companies to obtain customer phone numbers. When the county issued a boil water notice recently in southwest Volusia, many customer phone numbers had not been entered into the Code Red database, or the phone number on file had been changed. It's a good idea for all water service customers, regardless of the jurisdiction in which they live, to provide an accurate phone number that can be called in the event of an emergency. Volusia residents can register their phone number in the Code Red database by calling Emergency Operations Center at 386-254-1500. Those pesky love bugs. They're back in Volusia County for their second flight season of the year.
We only see them a couple of weeks a year, in the spring and the fall. The rest of the time, they're down in the soil. The larvae, the egg, are developing. Once they hatch out in the spring and the fall, their sole purpose is to mate, reproduce, and then they die in a very, very short amount of time.
The spring flight occurs during late April and May. A second flight occurs during late August and September. Flights extend over periods of 4 to 5 weeks. Usually love bug flights are restricted to daylight hours, and at night they rest on low-growing vegetation. Adult love bugs are harmless and do not sting or bite, but they are a considerable nuisance to motorists. They congregate in very large numbers along the highways, and the insects splatter on the windshields and grills of moving trucks and automobiles. According to David Griffiths of Volusia County's Extension Office, there are several things that can be done to lessen the problem facing motorists.
One thing you want to do to protect your vehicle is you want to make sure it's always waxed, have a good coat of wax on the hood, on the bumper, to make sure that material, the goop from the bugs doesn't stick. It's easier to wash off. Another thing you can do for the windshields, because the windshields are very, very important. When all the bug goop gets on the windshield, it distorts our vision. It makes it difficult for us to see. So you can use products that you can spray on your windshield that will allow water to streak off and will allow the bugs to come off easier. So these are two great things that you can use. Some people also use such things as PAM, baby oil, cooking oil, and they will put a nice sheen on the front. But you want to make sure that you be careful with that and that it doesn't harm the finish of your paint. So if you're in doubt, always just use some type of a good quality car wax.
The bugs also clog radiator fans, which can cause cars to overheat. And if that's not enough, the fatty tissue of the love bugs will cause pitting of the car's finish if it's not removed within a few days. A number of insecticides have been evaluated for effectiveness in controlling the love bug population. Most of them kill love bugs, but are impractical because of the high populations of the insects that occur over vast areas of the state.
If you drive a white vehicle like I do, you may think that love bugs are attracted to lighter colors. And you're correct. They are attracted to lighter colors. But what really attracts love bugs is the fumes and exhaust from our vehicles. That mimics organic material that's in the soil. So that's why we'll see them a lot around roads, parking lots, things like that. But they are attracted more to whiter vehicles than others. If you, like I do, and like a light vehicle, you just have to assume that twice a year, you're going to have love bugs around your vehicle. For more information, please contact Volusia.org, click on Agricultural Center, and get our publication on love bugs.
I'm Volusia County Chair Jason Davis. The University of Central Florida is running a very successful business incubator at Daytona Beach International Airport in partnership with Volusia County. The UCF Business Incubation Program is a collaboration and economic development between UCF and the Florida High-Tech Corridor Council, which links startup companies with experienced professionals and provides access to educational programs that lead them to business success. The goal of the incubation program is to offer a supportive environment to inspire the entrepreneurial spirit, accelerate business growth, and create local employment opportunities. For more information, visit www.incubator.ucf.edu.
Imagine the upkeep on a historic structure more than 100 years old. DeBary Hall Historic Site was built in 1871 and recently underwent a historical renovation, as reporter Kendra Lee explains in this week's Volusia Here and Now.
DeBary Hall was the winter retreat of a European-born wine merchant who chose the St. Johns River country for his hunting estate. Beginning in the 1870s, New Yorker Frederick DeBary acquired lands near Lake Monroe, built a large vacation house, and tried his hand at orange growing and commercial steamboating. Today, the historic site is managed by Volusia County and has recently gotten a beautiful facelift.
We always get compliments on the way the house looks, but the people who are local, who really look at it every day, have noticed a significant improvement about the overall look of the mansion. It looks cleaner, it looks more pristine, and of course, you know, everybody has been looking at scaffolding for a while, so after the scaffolding comes down, we get a fresh coat of paint and some clean, you know, we've cleaned it with our scrubbing brushes and everything, so the place looks a lot better.
Though the site curators always follow up on any abnormalities they may see on a standard check of the facility, the recent reviews showed a need for special attention to the roofing and porch.
A couple years ago, it became apparent to us that the roof was suffering from water intrusion, which happens a lot here in Florida. And this was determined to be something that was eligible for the ECHO grant program, especially their historic stabilization program. And so we were able to apply for that. And we actually were able to do the restoration and the repairs to the roof and the porch areas last year. And so it was basically over the course of about 8 months in 2014 that the bulk of the work was done, and it was completed in September of 2014.
With their Volusia County ECHO grant, DeBary Hall was able to use $300,000 to become the first ECHO-funded project for emergency stabilization of a historic site. The key to a historical preservation project is having a historical preservation officer to oversee the entire process. For DeBary Hall, that officer was Julie Schofield.
She oversaw the grant process, the application, she represented the grant, she worked with all of the contractors, and then also the proposal portion of it before we even started the work. That had to get sent up to the state in order for them to review our proposal, what we wanted to do in order to keep more water damage from occurring, but also what we wanted to do to redesign so that it was indeed fixed and would not continue to happen.
For more information on the historic site, visit DeBaryHall.com. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Kendra Lee.
Hi, I'm Deb Denny's with the Volusia County Council, urging you to be a driving force for the arts. If you renew your vehicle registration and request a state-of-the-art specialty plate, $20 of the fee goes directly to support cultural programs right here in Volusia County. In recent years, license plate revenues have been used to restore artwork in the historic courthouse, host numerous public programs and workshops, and market the arts. Putting one of these plates on your vehicle shows your commitment to the arts and lets others know that Florida really is a state of the arts.
Today on Volusia Magazine, as part of the Solutions for Your Life series, Joe Sewards, Volusia County Extension Agent, talks about the free Master Gardener clinics that are available to residents of Volusia County.
Hi, I'm Joe Sewards. I'm the Urban Horticulture Agent and Master Gardener Coordinator for the University of Florida Extension here in Volusia County. Welcome to Solutions for Your Life. Today I'd like to tell you a little bit about our Master Gardener Plant Clinic program. Master Gardeners are a dedicated group of individuals, and we have 130 here in Volusia County, who are available to help citizens of Volusia County with their landscaping, gardening, or yard concerns. As you can see over my shoulder here, we have a Master Gardener talking to a client who's having issues with his lawn.
Sitting and talking to the Master Gardener was very helpful. I had some issues in my yard with some plants. She gave me very good answers, and I hope that I can solve the problem by the advice that she gave me. It was very helpful, and I appreciate her help.
I also want to talk about some of our roaming plant clinics. We have a partnership with various library branches here in Volusia County. And every month at designated times, you can go to the library branch that's closest to you and talk with Master Gardeners. They have the same resources there that we have here at the main office in DeLand. Our roaming clinics are at Ormond Beach, or in Port Orange, Edgewater, Deltona, and soon we'll have a roaming plant clinic in DeBary. So contact those library branches and find out when the roaming Master Gardener Plant Clinic will be in your area. So if you have issues with your lawn, your landscape, your garden, whatever, feel free to call the University of Florida Extension Master Gardener Clinic here in Volusia County. You can call us at 822-5778, that's area code 386, or you can also email the Master Gardeners. It's a very easy email to remember, mastergardener@volusia.org. That's singular. That's mastergardener@volusia.org. You can email your questions. You can send us photos of your issues. That will help us render an accurate diagnosis. And if we can't do it here, we can also send samples or the photos to the University of Florida Diagnostic Clinic, and we will get you an answer. So again, if you have landscaping or gardening questions, problems with your turf, problem with your citrus trees, feel free to give us a call here at the University of Florida Extension in Volusia County or visit one of our roaming plant clinics. For Solutions for Your Life, I'm Joe Sewards.
I'm Joshua Wagner with the Volusia County Council. If you're going to one of our beautiful beaches, have a great day and come back often. If you drive on the beach, please observe the 10-mile-per-hour speed limit and be very careful of pedestrians, especially children. If you're visiting with children, watch them constantly and take small children by the hand when crossing traffic lanes. You might want to use one of our traffic-free zones. For more beach information, please visit volusia.org.
Well, it's time to head into the studio to join our very own Community Information Director, Dave Byron, and his guest, Crystal Elkins, the United Way's Director of Communications and Community Engagement.
Well, thank you, Amber, and hi, everyone. You know, each year, thousands of people dial 211 when in need of support or referral services. 211 is the information and referral system operated by the United Way of Volusia and Flagler counties. Hey, this was created to give people direction, support, and a place to call when they don't know where to turn, especially in a time of crisis. With us in the studio today to talk more about this free and very valuable information resource is Crystal Elkins. She's the United Way's Director of Communications and Community Engagement. Crystal, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
How you doing today?
Great.
Hey, for people that you know, have never heard of the 211 system, I know most of us think of 911 for emergencies, crisis, automobile accident, health issue, whatever. Maybe 411 for information, 511, and now you have 211. What is the 211 system?
Sure. Well, 211's actually been around since 1977 in our community, and it's a number that anybody can call to get answers and get connected. When it's not a case for 911, where you would need that fire or police, it's a case for 211, where we can help you to connect to local area services.
So let's talk about some of the types of calls that you might receive and some of these services, questions people might have. Give us a few typical examples.
Sure. So we answer about 18,000 clients every year. Contact us through either the phone number or the 211live.org. And they're looking for everything from rent assistance, utility assistance, where to find after-school programs for their kids, where to find prescription discount programs, health clinics, elderly care. You name it, they come to us for it.
So it really runs the gamut, and of course, with especially people that are new to the area, whatever, and so many different sources to get services or information. It's a pretty daunting task, I'm thinking.
It can be, and we work with about 250 local agencies.
Okay.
So that's a lot for people to try to skim through to find out who does what and how. So our agents know the community, they know what's out there and what services are available.
So let's say someone does have a bona fide crisis. Let's say, for example, they might be very depressed or something like that, and they happen to call 211 when maybe they should have been calling 911. What happens in that case?
Well, the first thing that our message always says, if it's a life-threatening emergency, to dial 911. We do have referral connection services through the suicide hotline and a couple other resources, but our agents are pretty quickly going to identify that and get them to where they need to be.
So obviously those folks that answer these calls, they got to be familiar with 240 something referral places within the database. But plus, I would think that they must have to have some type of training in terms of diffusing or knowing when, hey, that call should go to 911.
Correct. Our agents go through an extensive training process, and most of them have actually been with us for years. So they're very good at knowing what questions to ask, to actually not just in a crisis situation, but even if somebody's just calling for rent assistance, to ask the right questions. How did they get there in the first place? Is it needs for other assistance, or is this a one-time emergency?
And I'm thinking that there must be cases, a lot of cases probably, where people are calling for services and it may involve more than one agency.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
So if you've got a situation where, you need rent assistance and utility assistance, then you're probably also going to be looking for food.
Sure.
To make sure everything's going smoothly in your household. So they work with the clients, as we call them, and make sure that they get all the help they need.
And I'm thinking that the agencies that you have in your database, they must have to let you know what services they provide as well.
They do. And we go through a process every single year where we keep that updated. We contact all 250 plus agencies to make sure we've got the right information, what services they're providing, that we can give the best information.
I guess in recent years, you've been kind of growing the 211 source of information by including I guess the medical community, hospitals and the health department. Where is this going?
Correct. So a couple of years ago when the hospitals did the needs assessment, they realized that there needed to be more of a centrally located place for community medical and health resources to help people live a healthier life. So we partnered with Florida Hospital, Halifax Health, and the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County to drastically expand our health and wellness resources. So now people can actually go on and find everything from prescription discount cards to diabetes management classes, smoking cessations, even to local farmers markets.
You know, one of the other things that is important about 211 is that you get a lot of parents that call.
We do.
And parents, of course, you know, particularly with kids going back to school and that sort of thing, oftentimes have a lot of questions. Take us through what some of the questions parents might have and how you can help them.
Sure. So before school started, we had a list of all the backpack supplies that we're giving away, all the backpack drives, all the school supplies where people could go. We also operate the food break spots where parents can go during the summer or now even throughout the year to find free feeding sites for children.
Very cool.
And we recently launched our Help Me Grow program, which offers free developmental training and screening for children up to age 8.
Wow. So let's talk about that Help Me Grow for a minute. Provide a little bit more detail on what that is for folks out there that have never heard of this before.
Sure. It's a pretty unique program that's going on throughout the state of Florida that it's been expanding. We were the first ones, some of the first ones, that parents can get a free developmental screening done, and they can do it on the phone or online. And the agent will actually, if there is an issue, help connect them to a network of resources. So say if a child shows that they might be having delays in their speech, connecting them with a speech therapist through Easter Seals or some other program. So it's really comprehensive, and the great thing is if parents can get the screening done for free and done early, then that means it's not later on that they're having problems. We can address them early on, because most of the time children don't get identified with these problems until they're in school.
Right.
And at that point, they're behind their peers.
So obviously, and I mean, it's very simple. The quicker you can, get involved in some of these challenges that people have, particularly the kids, the more effective the solution can be, I'm thinking.
Correct.
Obviously, the economy has picked up in Volusia County. Many people seem to be doing well, I mean, with a lot of building activity and so forth, but yet there's a segment in our society, as there are in communities across the country, where people really still are having some difficult economic times. And of course, this 211 system of information and referral really helps that segment of our population.
It really does. And while on the surface, a lot of it seems like we're doing much better, the United Way's ALICE report was actually just released in November, and it showed that 45% of Volusia County is working hard but not making enough to actually live and survive here. They can't afford the basics of food and rent and childcare and transportation. So we know that nearly half of our population is struggling. So that's where 211 comes in, and that's where there are United Way services, such as the free tax preparation. We do about $500,000 in free taxes every year that we're saving people on their tax preparation fees.
Wow.
And for a family of 4 that's barely struggling,
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money to save. So we make sure that we have all the resources available that we can to help families navigate through the social system when they need it.
So you said earlier that you had about 250 agencies that you're in your database and so forth. Obviously, you have to know about the services available to put them into the database. Correct. So if there are agencies out there or service providers out there that want to make sure that they're in your database, what should they do?
We've made it really simple. You just go to 211live.org and then click on About 211, and then there's our inclusion exclusion policy, and then the contact information to get us your info.
Well, Crystal, I want to thank you very much for sharing the information. I know that the United Way is heavily based on volunteers. So if folks out there would like to perhaps help the United Way or perhaps even get involved in 211, how do they do that?
It's easy. You just pick up the phone and dial 211, or you can go to unitedwayvfc.org, and we always take people willing to give, advocate, and volunteer.
Well, Crystal, again, thanks for being with us today. Very valuable service of the local United Way. Quist County government is a big supporter of the local United Way because it helps so many different segments of our population. Very good service. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Our guest today, Crystal Elkins of the Volusia-Flager United Way. And with that, Amber, we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can always feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osmond. Have a wonderful evening.